and welcome to today's 5 at 5. Thank you so much for joining me as we continue to just pause to reflect on the goodness of God and to hear what He has to say to us this day. I want to read from 1 John, beginning with chapter 4, and it says, it's chapter 4, verse 7 through 11. It says, "Beloved, let us unselfishly love and seek the best for one another. For love is from God, and everyone who loves others is born of God and knows God through personal experience. The one who does not love has not become acquainted with God, does not and never did know Him. For God is love. He is the originator of love, and it is an enduring attribute of His nature. By this, the love of God was displayed in us, in that God has sent His one and only begotten Son, the one who is truly unique, the only one of His kind, into the world so that we might live through Him. In this is love, not that we loved God, but that God loved us and sent His Son to be the propitiation, that is, the atoning sacrifice, and the satisfying offering for our sins, fulfilling God's requirement for justice against sin and placating His wrath. Beloved, if God so loved us in this incredible way, we also ought to love one another." I love these verses. When I read this, if I had to sum it up, I hear sacrifice. And so love is about sacrifice. And when you think about sacrifice, I love when David said, "I will not offer the Lord anything that doesn't cost me something." So when we are making a sacrifice, it's something that is costly. It's something that it may not be convenient. It may not be comfortable. It may take us out of our comfort zone. Love is about sacrifice. I know for our pastor's anniversary, the subject that I preached from was He's worth the sacrifice. Our God is worth the sacrifice. And so as I think about following God's example, we are told here that, "Beloved, if God so loved us in this incredible way," which it was incredible, "that we also ought to love one another." Today, I can't help but think about, today is my twin daughters, Jocelyn and Jillian. This is their 20th birthday. No longer teenagers. They're 20 years old. Beautiful young adult women. And I'm overwhelmed by just God's love for me to give me this privilege to serve in this capacity of motherhood. And not only that, but just it definitely has taken sacrifice through all of the sickness and surgeries and therapies and seizures and all the things that these 20 years have encompassed. It has taken sacrifice. And it's been a privilege. And so I thank God as I reflect on His incredible way of loving me, that He's given me an opportunity to love in a sacrificial manner. And there's something about sacrificial love, because it's not so much what is given, but there's an exchange that takes place. In sacrificial loving, I have been changed. I have grown. I have been shaped. I have been molded. I have been, the potter has had his way with me on that potter wheel in these 20 years. And I recognize we think about sacrificial love and in all that we are able to give to someone else. But there's a great exchange that takes place. And there's something that God does in us. And it has an eternal value. I pray that as you pause to examine the sacrificial loving that you give to maybe your spouse, to your children, maybe to a family member, maybe to a stranger, whoever it might be that God has put in your realm of serving, in your place, I want you to consider it. If it's not costing you something, is it really a sacrifice? And if it is a sacrifice, don't look at what's been lost, but look at what's been given. And not so much to the other person, but what you've received. I pray that this word has blessed you. I am reminded every day that it's truly not about me, but it is about bringing our God all the honor and all the glory and the praise that he deserves, not some of the time, not most of the time, but all the time. Be blessed and remember that we truly are blessed to be a blessing. I'll see you next time on the next 5 at 5.